we will see our starting parts nearly lower back to 13. Truly, we are not meandering into the realness of these hypotheses these days. For the most incredible part, since the endless nearby close by has at this point apparent that our strategy of spotlights on this universe starts off the Goliath influence. The mind that succeeded the Goliath impact is other than laid out on a tantamount customary sign of this first involvement in the field. With the exceptional instance of on the off chance you're a nerd who has gone through hours looking at changed shocking impressions of the massive bang, to be fair, the occasion changed into an abundance of an impact in an approach to talking. In a general sense, put, the gigantic blast saw as its spot to start in a solitary part, a point that was ad infinitum hot and thick, similarly improved to past ridiculous lengths. All of this passed off while the universe was fantastically fiery. In all honesty, at the hour of the far-reaching impact, the universe was truly 10 to the force of 34 seconds old. That is 1 centesimal of a billionth of a trillionth of a second in age. This is where the universe encountered a stunning effect of progress, however, recommended as the extraordinary impact. Then again, the headway during this system, space, expanded quicker than the speed of light. Our universe changed into being stacked with each particle we found out about in our science class. Protons, neutrons, electrons, adversaries of electrons, photons, and neutrinos. The presence of the colossal impact is phenomenal while orally, it appears. Yet, the way that we decipher the universe's show is astoundingly theoretical. We've made basic progression starting from the Boss moon landing, and from there on, our mechanical advancement has advanced solidly. Right now, that specialists were focusing on the epic impact. It depended upon mathematical recipes and sensible plans. They couldn't have ever conceivably assessed that we would review the jeopardies of life on Mars. There have been fundamental pushes to our greatest interest to separate the universe and inspect space. Yet at the day's end, our bleeding-edge progression is very restricted. We can't mimic the huge blast or peer back at the real occasion. Our best piece of proof comes from the gigantic microwave foundation, which has permitted specialists to see the resonation of the monster influence. While this instrument is profound in the appraisal of the universe, it is other than hypothetically bound. So while our complete history lays on theoretical models, real theories have a gigantic degree to be sabotaged. We are close to 100% about the colossal blast as the beginning of our universe. Still, there are a few repercussions we have confounded theories about our universe. They are by and large around spread out on data shelter human bungle. A piece of our records is additionally essentially inconclusive about the tremendous bang. It is awkward to stigmatize the hypothesis, as the hypothesis is that our universe is as however widening. Our preeminent device in examining the massive impact has been the Hubble Space Telescope. And by what's more, by everybody's consideration is on the wonderful accuracy of the James Webb Space Telescope. As of now, we utilized these burglarized solid innovative units. One of the most addressed subjects in immense assessment was the universe's progress. Assuming you check out at course readings from the mid-1990s, you'd find discussions about how the universe is loosening up. While the universe is growing, we couldn't absolutely understand what the extension of the universe incorporates. The James Webb Space Telescope has brought us new disclosures that propose the universe has finished expanding. This persistent day glorious occasion induces that our enthusiasm for the universe's way could have to change. As of now, keeping on jumping into the repercussions of this outstanding advancement, from our universe's course, we ought to check out our impression of this jumbling unconventionality. Regardless of anything else, the boundless use of the terms of impact and progression. The creation of the universe wasn't precisely there for scientists recognized that our enthusiasm for the universe ought to make as exhibited by NASA. The universe didn't meander into space as there was no such thing as space ahead of time. Rather, it's more wise to consider the gigantic blast as the simultaneous appearance of room anywhere inside the universe. Our insight reveals that our universe has encountered areas of adequacy for per period angry about the coarse power of activity of room. At first, the universe was absolutely dull and faint, until heaps of gas changed over into stars and cosmic frameworks. Really, at that time did the universe emerge from its grandiose weak ages. Here's a piece inconsistent truth. Our close-by planetary framework seemed 9 billion years after the gigantic impact. Space has been extending out over the long anteroom, containing matter with its dynamic headway. To put it absolutely, the universe isn't loosening up in the manner by which we envision, or handle the powerful extending out of space goes already. The extension of the universe to the degree that we might be concerned. No matter what the reality, understanding it is tangled. It is critical for handle the delayed consequences of what we will understand. For this video, we'll keep utilizing the term headway of the universe to suggest the strong expansion of our space. Essentially considering the way that even examiners use the outlining to depict the new disclosure made by the James Webb Space Telescope. The revelation that the universe has quit creating is both astounding and clashing with our past hypothetical figuring out. Specialists were persuaded that the universe was reaching out at a sped-up rate since its early phase. They had assembled gigantic proof utilizing the Hubble Space Telescope. So this isn't NASA reevaluating its past seeing. Rather, it is a totally new event that is genuine irreversible. While the disclosure is fundamental, it isn't is not out of the ordinary. Discussing gravity, our universe was determinately arranged to a recollapse. If it had a sizable proportion of energy density, the improvement would stop completely. And our universe could go in reverse. To jump into this, we start with dull energy, which returns to the 1990s. NASA and its specialists had a couple unequivocal examinations concerning the universe's improvement. With gravity being the main unit, however, the speed of the universe improvement ought to have moved back after at some point. Observational information showed the opposite. In 1998, the Hubble Space Telescope revealed that the universe was loosening up at a speeding up rate. This was in protection from what was at that point known, showing that gravity alone couldn't have all the earmarks of being genuine of the quicker speed increase. Examiners proposed dull energy as the force causing the speed development. In spite of the way that we have hardly any comprehension into it, dull energy makes up a huge piece of our universe. While conventional matter essentially incorporates around 5%, given the presence of faint energy, why has our universe halted developing? Experts are as of now finding out about this idiosyncrasy. Assuming we take a gander at the duel among gravity and dull energy, one probability is that gravity is eventually overpowering faint energy, halting the universe's progression. Then again, gravity might have begun diminishing the impacts of dull energy. Out of nowhere, we need gigantic perception and speculative confirmation to legitimize changes in how gravity functions along with the universe. A few scientists like Brian Cox have pondered the fulfillment of the universe. As shown by Cox, the end may come in faint absence of definition as the universe contracts. It would take around 6 billion years for this to occur, and we could see the sun cool off and the universe separate into a single faint opening. In cosmology, one critical subject is the universe's convincing future, which incorporates the plausibility of the monster crunch. This occasion happens when the universe's thickness is adequate to stop its extension and start contracting firmly. Understudied, we can anticipate the completion of the universe. Assuming gravity turns out to be areas of strength for incredibly could cut through the surface of spacetime, making the universe break down onto itself. Here is the continuation and completing of the sprinkled text. Assuming gravity goes out to be extremely astonishing, it could slice through the surface of spacetime, causing the universe to fall onto itself. As the universe gets the limitless structures, stars and planets will move closer together, ultimately provoking a circumstance where all matter joins into a solitary endlessly thick point like the state before the immense blast. This hypothesis, known as the tremendous crunch, suggests that the universe's advancement won't proceed endlessly. Taking everything into account, it will switch, ending up back at ground zero in an incalculable breakdown. Anyway, this stays theoretical. What's more, advancing insights and data from instruments like the James Webb Space Telescope will be principal in refining our seeing. No matter what the disturbing repercussions of these hypotheses, they highlight the dynamic and ever-changing nature of the universe. Our data on the universe is consistently creating, driven by creative degrees of progress and new divulgences. As we proceed to examine and study the universe, we could uncover more about the significant powers shaping our universe and its definitive predetermination. While the likelihood that the universe has quit developing is both upsetting and moderate, it means that the colossal requests by the manner in which we may decipher the universe. The exchange among gravity and faint energy stays one of the most undeniable secrets in present-day space science. As we accumulate more data and refine our theories, we draw closer to loosening up the strange idea of our universe and its basic ideas for the future. We will see our starting comp adversaries nearly lower back to 13? Truly, we are not meandering into the genuineness of these hypotheses these days. For the most outstanding aspect, since the colossal region has at this moment perceived that our approach of core interests on this universe starts off the colossal influence. The cerebrum that succeeded the colossal impact is other than laid out on a near-normal sign of the main involvement in the field. Yet, if you're a nerd who has gone through hours checking out really impacted spectacular points of view on the massive impact, to be direct, the occasion changed into an overabundance of an impact in an approach to talking. Basically put, the tremendous shoot saw as its spot to start in a specific part, a point that was ad infinitum hot and thick, what's more, improved to ludicrous lengths. All of this passed off while the universe was amazingly youthful. Truth be told, at the hour of the wide impact, the universe was truly 10 to the force of 34 seconds old. That is 1 centesimal of a billionth of a trillionth of a second immature. Here the universe experienced an amazing effect of progress, for the most part proposed as the dishonorable impact or, on the other hand, the headway during this method. Space expanded quicker than the speed of light. Our universe changed into being stacked with each particle we found out about in our science class. Protons, neutrons, electrons, adversaries of electrons, photons, and neutrinos. The presence of the enormous blast areas of strength 4 is analogy. It appears yet the way that we decipher the universe's show is astoundingly theoretical. We've made basic progression starting from the first moon landing. Additionally, starting there forward, our mechanical advancement has advanced unequivocally. Right when specialists were focusing on the gigantic blast, it depended upon mathematical recipes and unsurprising styles. They would never have conceivably assessed that we would examine the risk of life on Mars. There have been fundamental moves in our benefit to inspect the universe and inspect space. Yet, in spite of everything, at the day's end, our very front advancement is very restricted. We can't duplicate the gigantic blast or peer back at the real occasion. Our best piece of check comes from the self-important microwave foundation, which has permitted specialists to see the resonating of the gigantic effect. While this instrument is memorable in the evaluation of the universe, it is as well theoretically restricted. So while our all-out history lays on speculative models, consistent speculations have an enormous extension to be sabotaged. We are nearly sure about the huge impact as the beginning of our universe. Still, there are a couple of repercussions. We have confused theories about our universe. They are all things considered as laid out on data inclined to human mistake. A piece of our records is besides remarkably conclusive about the colossal bang. It is helpful to discredit the hypothesis. The universe is an enormous further, confounding spot, stacked up with vast wonders and insider facts prepared to be unraveled from the most diminutive subatomic particles to the largest frameworks. There is a particularly enormous sum about the universe that we currently just can't see completely. One of the most enchanting portions of the universe is its authoritative predetermination. Will it continue growing endlessly, or will it in the end break down in on itself in a catastrophic event known as the tremendous crunch? Specialists have been thinking about these requests for quite a while, and remembering that we have acquired basic progress in our comprehension, there is still a great deal we don't acknowledge. One hypothesis suggests that the universe will continue to develop forever, little by little becoming colder and hazier as stars wear out and universes float separated. In this current circumstance, the universe will in the end turn into a fruitless and empty, with no life or light abundance. One more opportunity is that gravity will eventually overcome the augmentation of the universe, making it crush down spirit in on itself. This would prompt a bursting end known as the colossal crunch, where all matter is pressed into a single spot of unending thickness. Clearly, these are just speculations, and the authentic predetermination of the universe stays unsure. Yet, despite what happens ultimately, one thing is clear. The universe is a dynamic and ever-changing place, loaded with magnificence and miraculous past our most staggering personalities.